Hey, what's up, everybody? How are we doing on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear. How are you?
He's like, too loud almost.
No, I didn't say that.
I got my McDonald's sweet tea here, man. I'm crushing it. So I can't wait to talk to you guys more about Enigma.
Awesome.
So we got Fibonacci joining, right?
Yeah, we got Legolas online already.
Hell yeah. Now, Disrupted, are you an MVHQ member? I can't remember.
I used to be. I had to exit, unfortunately.
It's okay. We all have to eventually. Well, I can't. I'm contractually obligated to run these kinds of things, but I would love to eventually. I'm just kidding now. I remember your name. That's all.
Yeah. I'll be back as soon as I can.
How's it going, Fibonacci?
Good. Excited for this.
Me too, man. Me too. Just let people fill in here for a second, and we can get started. But looks like the new Dookie Dash thing just launched, did it not? I see a lot of people in MVHQ playing it and live streaming it. I don't know anything about it. Anybody?
Yeah, I wish I could have played it more, but haven't personally.
Nice. Right on. Well, let's just give it a few minutes here. I think we're doing some announcements, sharing things out, and we'll get started here sooner than later. Where is everybody from the team at? Are you guys located in one spot, or kind of all over the place?
We're all over. We've got some in the States, some in Canada, Nifty's in Singapore, and then supporting cast likewise all over the place.
Right on. I love that approach. I never trust projects that are all in one spot. It's like, wait a second.
It's one guy sitting in front of 5 computers.
Exactly. Did you just say Azuki? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No.
Just kidding. Lots of respect for Azuki. Could get myself into hot water here. Well, like I said, I'm willing to wait for more announcements and for more people to file in. But if you guys want to just get started, start the ball rolling, and just wait till people kind of file in, we can do that too. So it's totally your all's call.
Yeah, maybe give another minute or two, and then we can kick it off.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I did just want to share, though, that of all the founders, I've only met Spaceman once in person through Web3.
That's awesome. All right. I've been doing this for 3 years now at this point, and I have only met literally one person from Web3 in person completely, and it's just because they live in the same city as me, and we grab beers every few weeks. So that's it. So you got one over me, man. Is anyone from the team headed to NFT LA?
I don't believe so.
I think that's where I'm going to make my grand appearance here in Web3. I don't know. We're still trying to plan it, so I was going to say maybe we can meet up.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I'm stuck in like 6 or 7 inches of snow.
Oof. Not jealous. Here in Ohio, we are starting to get warmer weather. I'm sure that's going to change here in a second, but for now, that's where we're at.
Okay.
Well, looks like we got about 20, 25 people in here. Do you want to get started now?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much, Enigma team, for meeting with us today and partnering with MVHQ. Really excited to kind of learn a little bit more about what you guys have going on. But I think it would be really awesome if we just did a quick introduction. I know Fibonacci, you're kind of the lead guy here, but if you want to kind of introduce yourself and then maybe introduce some of the lovely guests you have with you today, to maybe just tell us a little about yourself and what you do in Web3 and kind of your background a little bit.
Yeah, of course. So obviously a lot of MVHQ friendly faces in here. You'll know a lot about this. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a MVHQ OG. I was probably one of the first whales. Came across you guys from a tweet from Tropo Farmer back in the day for one of his top 3 Discord hubs. And I had minted VFriends, and then I literally bought like 50 Super Yetis after the fact. So I was looking for a way to get some better information after that. So found my way to MVHQ, and yeah, the rest is really history. Kind of crushed the NFT bull market to the point that I was able to quit my actuarial consulting job after 6 years, just about a year ago. Went full time in the space, and then have been in crypto since 2017, but obviously went down the NFT rabbit hole kind of since VFriends, and then pretty much ever since Other Deeds. Once the NFT volume started dropping off, I really started kind of pivoting to 90% or more of my time doing kind of day trading crypto futures and whatnot, and really trying to kind of dial in my education, grind with other trading professionals, and really develop the skill set to the point now that, that's kind of my full-time gig at this point, and a lot of the kind of reason we're doing this business to kind of then extend it and hopefully help other people with our skills and knowledge. Beyond that, I played soccer in college, and competitive, obviously, but really like the goal when I quit my job was to be able to like leverage, like I said, my skills and expertise to help people. And so really happy to be able to be launching this business and, not only grinding for myself, but hoping to make a difference for a lot of people as well.
Excellent. And then along with us, we have 2 other people. Do you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves real fast?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can go next. So I am Legless. For those who don't know me, I'm from Ontario, Canada. So in terms of my background, I have quite an extensive sales experience. I've run a few campaigns for some large international charities as well as some third-party companies. Since that time, I have entered the finance world and become a financial planner, which is the term in Canada. So I manage assets for a living in my Web2 life. And so the reason why I guess, among others, the main reason why I'm so excited about this project is because the founders are extremely aligned ethically. So I believe that our impact from this project, as Fibonacci was saying, could be extremely significant for people who don't otherwise have access to these tools. So I'm really looking forward to that and building a cool community around that.
Right on. And then we have Disrupted Normality. You want to introduce yourself real fast as well?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I'm also from Canada on the other side in Alberta, and been over here for a few years now. Came here from Switzerland originally, and got into trading, or got into crypto when I don't even remember how long ago that was, but I know BTC was around $500. Unfortunately, I sold way too soon. And then was kind of dabbling in crypto a little bit. Then I was a senior project manager in the aviation industry, which took me kind of away from crypto. Then I quit that and decided to get back into crypto a little more intense, and then went down the NFT rabbit hole thanks to Fibonacci. And then same as him, when that kind of tanked, got more and more into day trading, and been doing that full time for probably about a year now. Yeah.
Right on. And we also have a Spaceman up here as well. Spaceman, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys. I basically have kind of been the programming, I guess, side of things. So I've been programming since I've been about 12 years old, self-taught. Ended up having it to where I sold a couple companies by the time I was 24, and ended up having it to where I jumped into crypto and kind of the whole DeFi space. back when, there were like the old networks where you could be able to make a ton of money arbitraging. And I ended up writing scripts that would arbitrage between all the networks, and did that really successfully for a pretty long time. And then had it to where I ended up kind of diversifying my focus into a new business, came back into kind of crypto and NFTs when I ended up creating a Web3 game studio where we ended up building play to earn video games. So we already have one released. We have another one that's about to come out, and ended up really diving deep. And then I ended up getting curious after we ended up raising, we did 1.2 million in our mint when we did a pre-sale for our first game. And I wasn't quite sure what to do with the actual treasury balance. We kept on paying out the staff and everything else like that, and we just kept on seeing it go down. So I was like, well, where can we be able to have it where we could be able to make an interest in DeFi or something else? And all of the things that I would throw into in DeFi would have it to where it would go really good for a bit, and then we would all of a sudden have to be able to instantly pull it out, or it would crash or something else like that. So I was like, what if I wrote a script that could allow for me to be able to have it to where whenever Ethereum skyrocketed and then plummeted, we could be able to have it to where we made that small delta. So then I ended up creating a script initially using PancakeSwap, their prediction game, as like the initial testing basis for that, and ended up getting it up to where I had like a 68% accuracy doing that. And then I was like, wait a minute, if I'm making money doing this, what if I applied it to the main market? And then from there, I got into actually doing quant algorithms, which then allowed for me to be able to then allow for our $1 million treasury to start being able to actually generate yield, to be able to pay all of our staff, and kind of continued from there. And then over the last year, I would say a little bit extra over a year, I've been doing nothing but just building quant algorithms, making it more and more efficient, more effective, having it where I'm reducing the lag times, getting used to the unknown unknowns, like having the API lag that we just ended up solving between having our server in the United States when the actual marketplace was in Singapore. We had to move servers. We had to actually get at the same server farm. There was just a lot of these weird unknowns that we ended up having to get into. So that's kind of my background, is more of the techie side, building out companies, and kind of taking out the nerdy side of like quant algorithms, I guess you'd say.
Hey, we all need a nerd in our lives, okay? So I assume that makes sense for companies too. So no shame in being a nerd, man. Well, that's a great introduction to the team.
And Ryan, can I? Nifty wasn't able to hop on because it's, I think, 6 a.m. or something. So just wanted to give a quick intro for him as well. Obviously, again, another MVHQ OG. Nifty, we actually just recently officially onboarded as CMO. He's got like 20 years of advertising and marketing experience, about half of which has been with Twitter. And so he's kind of going to be our, design eye, a lot better than my actuarial expertise. And yeah, he's worked with brands like Nike, Google, Apple, Universal Pictures, and Disney. So we're really excited to have him on board as well. But yeah, Singapore, so time difference is a bit there.
Yeah, no matter how much people or accountant types, finance types, and tech types think that they're really good at design, they typically aren't. So I'm glad you guys got him on as a CMO. That's great. It should be really helpful, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on. Well, hey, that's a great introduction to the team. Really excited now to kind of drill down. Let's just get a quick overview of exactly what Enigma is hoping to be here in this just crazy NFT space.
Yeah, of course. So we are, like I said, very excited. We have a pretty unique business model and approach in the space that not really anyone is doing before. Enigma is essentially going to be an educational tech firm where we're going to provide people all kinds of different utilities surrounding around trading education, Web3 education, anywhere from the super advanced NFT degen to somebody who's literally never touched crypto before in their life. We're hoping to kind of have serve kind of both the Web 2 and Web 3 markets through kind of a variety of different utilities. And then kind of one of our biggest differentiators is we're going to have a fully automated copy trading solution to the point where people will be able to plug in and after setting it up, of course, be able to copy trades from myself, some other trading professionals like Nick Alps from Taking Shots group, and then, of course, our algorithms from Spaceman. And we're going to have a pipeline in place to continue bringing on more talent and growing in that respect as well.
Right on. Excellent. So I guess, can you maybe explain things from a technical aspect of the how things work? I guess when you join this community, when you mint something, like what's happening there?
Yep. So in line with kind of that array of utilities, we're going to have essentially segmented tiers that people will be able to self-select into kind of whichever segment or group of utilities they want. And that starts with, just our public community. Even people that don't have the NFT, they're going to have access to a lot of our education that'll be completely free within our Discord. This business was founded on, trying to help the average everyday person, where 70% or more of the market is leveraging algorithms and social trading, and most retail traders don't have access to that. And so that's kind of where we're trying to step in and kind of give them, level the playing field in that respect. So even our public community non-NFT holders will have access to a lot of great educational materials, and also completely free within our Discord, we will have a crypto spot algorithm signal, which a lot of other projects charge upwards of $2,000 a month for something similar. So really trying to, do our part to give back in that respect. And then we also plan to roll out a newsletter within the next probably 2 months that will obviously be a subscription available to the public. And then, of course, our holders would get it for free. Beyond that, our single holders obviously will then have access to kind of the first layer of the copy trading. And for the kind of specifics with that, our initial launch, we're partnering with the exchange BitGet and actually working directly with their head of product and business development team to kind of get the nuts and bolts ironed out for this custom solution, to the point that only our NFT holders will have access to, like I said, these seasoned traders and algorithms. And so the only way to kind of follow our trades will be to have the NFT, but we'll basically be leveraging kind of their existing, well-ironed machine for copy trading, because it's one of the best UIs that I've experienced across copy trading. And yeah, of course, beyond the copy trading itself, we'll have, live trade calls. If one of our pro traders takes a trade on a copy trading account, they might share, a chart. This is what I'm looking for. These are kind of levels I'm looking for. So even if someone doesn't want to plug into the copy trading initially, or for other reasons, they'll still be able to participate in the live calls. And then we'll have kind of market insights, both micro technical analysis, which is more my expertise, and then macroeconomics. And we also hope to bring in some pretty cool like life and wealth hacks as well. But yeah, really beyond that kind of single NFT holder, as you kind of envision, we're going to have a tier 2, which will be holders of 2 NFTs. It's going to add additional forms of copy trading, expanding in addition to just futures copy trading. We'll have spot copy trading enabled for them. And then once we roll out multiple exchanges, we're planning to build this infrastructure out on a DEX in the future, as well as potentially other exchanges. And so people who hold 2 NFTs will have kind of the ability to trade on multiple exchanges. And then tier 3 is going to be 5 NFTs. And we hope to roll out more of a traditional finance option, still fine-tuning the details on that, but it'll, what we have in mind is being able to use one of Spaceman's algorithms to trade something like gold or something, and you'll be able to copy trade that as well. And a lot of other cool ideas in mind as well. But of all those utilities I just mentioned, roughly half of them will be available at launch. And so we have a lot of things that won't quite be ironed out, but we hope to have day one utility to let people immediately plug in.
That's awesome. And I've been in this space for a while. I'm not a naive person. One of my favorite YouTube channels to follow is CoffeeZilla, right? And I think one of the best things CoffeeZilla did is a lot of the automatic market accounts that people could do to trade stocks or to trade cryptos. He exposes a lot of them, right? Now, 2 things is I know 2 of you are very trustful people, Fibonacci, you being one of them. But at the same time, how are you guys trying to bring ethics into this as well? And maybe people who see some of this stuff as maybe kind of not a scam. I don't think it's a scam at all, but there are a lot of scams that are trying to or want to be like this. Like, how are you guys differentiating yourselves from like maybe pump and dump communities and things like that?
Yeah, so really, I guess I'll speak for myself, and I think it obviously has ripples throughout our business model as well. But really, kind of what I've ironed out for my personal trading strategy is like a bulletproof risk management system. Like I said, I was an actuary for 6 years, which means I'm really good at Excel and numbers and math. And I basically have a system at this point, which, is kind of how I won MVP with MVHQ a few months ago, sharing kind of a YouTube channel that you can look up and see exactly how I trade and everything. But basically, I only look for trades with good risk to reward. So if I'm right, I'll make, 2 times as much as if I'm wrong or more. And then obviously have, strict caps on the downside if I am wrong. And so where a lot of trading gurus and products, come out with these crazy astronomical claims in terms of 95% plus success rates, or these crazy absurd 10x your account in a week type of claims, we plan to be as transparent as possible with people for kind of the past results we've had as individual traders and algorithms. But we are going to be very, very cognizant of setting like expectations with our community that we are, like I said, seasoned traders. We individually expect to profit long term, given kind of proper risk management and the systems we have in place. We also know that any good trader or algorithm will still have bad days, bad weeks, and that's kind of the beauty of this model we have, is that instead of it being solely reliant on a single, like I said, trading guru or single algorithm, by providing people with the diverse group, it's going to smooth out all those ebbs and flows and hopefully provide a lot better experience for people versus seeing their accounts go like plus or minus 50% overnight. And on top of that, a lot of issues with even on BIC itself, like there are public copy traders available that I know some people have played around with. I've played around with myself, and even the quote unquote top traders in that group, they basically use predominantly like a DCA strategy, to where they just keep kind of trading counter to the momentum of the price action, assuming that if it comes back the other way, they'll just finally exit their position when they're in profit. It gives them a really nice success rate and win rate. They're showing 85+% success rate. But at the same time, when you have kind of a breakout environment like we saw within the last couple months, a lot of those quote unquote pro traders actually got liquidated. And so that's like a big differentiator for us, where we're going to have hard caps on pretty much every position across all of our traders, both the ones that are starting, and then kind of to give you a little insight for our onboarding process, we're going to have a pretty strict, metrics in place to have new traders be able to prove to us that they're profitable with good risk management. They're going to have to hit certain metrics over, kind of 2 consecutive periods. So they're not just going to be able to get lucky in a couple trades. They'll have to prove that they're actually, have some good consistency. And then even once they're live and we're promoting them to our community, we'll still hold them to those kind of risk constraints. Not too dissimilar from kind of the prop firm model that some of you might have heard, where you can, if you prove to these prop firms that you have good profits with good risk management, they'll actually let you trade funded accounts. So we're doing somewhat of a similar model to onboard new professional traders with Enigma as well.
Go ahead.
And sorry, just to add to that as well, we have a few members of the team that were a little bit trepidatious about publicly doxing with their identity. So we have enlisted Rug Doctor. So we're in the process of getting a Rug Doctor stamp at the moment, and that will be presented very shortly. And so what that essentially means is that we've each individually agreed, we've presented our identities to them, and we've each individually agreed to be personally responsible if any member of the team commits any malicious or fraudulent act or anything along those lines. So our identities are known to them. So if anything were to happen, each of us would be risking quite a lot.
That's good to note. And definitely didn't mean to. I wanted to call attention to that, because in my mind, when I hear copy trading, that's like the first thing I think of is some scams that I've heard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fueled or fudded. But to get back on topic, away from that, one of the interesting things is that this is a free mint, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
You maybe go into a little bit about what the logic behind the free mint, and not only is it a free mint, but it's a free mint with a really low supply. So we're not trying to recruit, 5,000 people here. We're talking about 500. Is that right?
Exactly.
Yep. Both of those are correct. So, yeah, we did kind of toy around with a low mint price initially. Kind of like I said, a lot of the reasoning why we started this business was to make this stuff accessible for the average everyday person in a legal way where we're not touching user funds, but we're providing them information with existing third-party tech and, sharing with them how to leverage, the traders and algorithms we have. And so in line with that, we ultimately decided that free mint would be best for us for a couple reasons. First of all, we have people getting on our Enigma list from Twitter giveaways with like 40 followers. And you never know where someone's coming from, 0.1 ETH or even more could be, getting to a point that might price them out. So having a free mint makes it so that if anyone finds their way into our ecosystem, they'll be able to join in, no matter where they are. And then beyond that, obviously there's a lot of gray areas with the SEC and security laws. And by never actually selling anything in the first place, we are positioning ourselves kind of ahead of that to, not even have that in question as well. Oh, and I did want to mention one additional thing. We've officially decided as a team that starting day one with Mint, 50% of our secondary royalties will be donated to charity as in accordance with our community as well.
Which is actually something I was going to bring up as well. Love that. Have you guys already determined what charity it is, or is that something that you want the community to vote on, or what's the deal there?
Yep, we want it to be community driven. Still exploring options. I know there's some out there where, you can kind of, buy the blockchain, have verification by holders. And so we're going to explore some options. But yeah, that's something that we want the community to be involved with 100%. And we might also have kind of a fun aspect to the point where we actually leverage our utilities and trade the charity to even magnify it even further. So also exploring that.
Now you mentioned SEC and getting around potential security laws and the regulations. Have you consulted this with a lawyer or any? Do you guys have any law backings that you want to speak to? To help guide you through this project, because coming from a very public project myself previously, I was the marketing guy for. Basically I couldn't get past lawyers. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do a giveaway. I couldn't even do giveaways because of laws like that. So I'm curious what kind of advice you guys are getting on the legal side.
Yeah. So again, I am personally not a lawyer, but we've spoken to several advisors. Ox Attorney is helping with kind of our disclaimer. He works with Consortium Key as well. So that's kind of our initial in-house connection there. But yeah, like our initial model, like I said, is we're really just giving people information on how to access existing third-party technology. We're never going to touch people's funds. It'll be totally under their discretion in terms of kind of who they decide to follow, what settings they use. We will have, as good guides as we can, but at the end of the day, we will have all of the disclaimers, saying that not only is our past performance not a guarantee, but like with crypto, of course, in general, like there's a lot of risks in line with that. So, and of course, BitGet has their own disclaimers as well. So everything will be very transparent. And to that end, we do have some pretty fun future ideas in place. That we might consider some kind of accreditation requirements for things like that. But for our kind of core lower tier utilities, we're like I said, just positioning ourselves as that kind of educational tech firm to the point that we're going to be able to share kind of what's out there and what's available for people, kind of walk them through, hold their hands to the extent we can without, directly saying like, do this. And, hoping that, of course, it leads to a good outcome to them. But yeah, at the end of the day, we just are going to be very clear that nothing's guaranteed. And like, you must, be aware of these risks with crypto in general and with what we're sharing people with.
Okay. One thing I wanted to ask is the membership tiers, right? I'm reading the white paper, and you got, public, which is, public, clearly. Then you have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, which is based on owning 1 NFT versus 2 NFTs versus 5 NFTs. What's stopping someone from like just minting, getting on the allow list for 5 NFTs? Is that what you're hoping for? Or are you hoping to really, have that person go on the secondary market and buy that once, everything's minted out? I'm curious to know what the logic is there.
Yep. So yeah, we're the logic is generally to allow people to kind of self-select into whatever is appropriate for them. Personally, a lot of you might know this, that I haven't really joined any alpha group that I can't whale up. Just my personal preference. I know MVHQ, of course, has had a lot of awesome whale benefits in terms of getting us these great allow lists, the VA service to help keep track of things. So I personally would love to, whale up in something. And so for me, like having that tier 3 available to someone that could, they could scoop up some extras on secondary to get those additional benefits. Whereas, someone else might just want that single NFT. So yeah, we have basically an Enigma list that is going to be, guaranteed based on kind of that 500 supply spread across several communities that we've been collaborating with, as well as some, of course, Web 2 connections and whatnot as well. And we're going to have no duplicate wallets. So it's going to be kind of single mints for all of that. And then we have a wait list as well that will kind of whatever's remaining from that Enigma list mints. The statistics are usually 10 to 30% of the kind of allow lists don't mint, especially in the current market. So we expect there to be some for the kind of wait list, which will be first come, first serve. But yeah, if anyone wants to kind of get up to the additional tiers, they'll have to do so through secondary.
Right on. Well, that's kind of, my questions, the things I wanted to get down and drill down from you guys. I want to open up the questions from the audience here. Does anyone have any questions that they want to add? And then while we wait on that, from anyone from the team, is there anything that you guys want to add that maybe we haven't touched on yet?
I think the only other specific detail is kind of timing. I just wanted to mention we don't have a fixed date yet. We want to make sure that we've got everything in place, before we can commit to a date. We're actually spinning up the legal entity as we speak, and so want to obviously make sure we've got all the specifics in place. And then, I did want to also touch on kind of some of our supporting cast because I think it's relevant. Some of you may have seen our NFT art on our Twitter, and Swishy has been the NFT architect behind that. So leveraging the best of the best. He obviously helped out with the MVHQ token. As for smart contract, we've enlisted Kfish and Chips for both the smart contract development and the web development. So hoping that we'll be able to provide a better minting experience than a lot of these projects recently that are just bombing websites and everything is just crashing and not a good user experience. So we really want to focus on sticking to what we tell our communities, providing them as good of an experience as possible. And, again, even if something were to happen with the website, we plan to have instructions how to mint from contracts, stuff like that. So some of our kind of supporting cast, and then as well, we've got, some pretty awesome advisors that we're enlisting as well. I've got ties to the team with Aurochs. They're kind of a DeFi startup that's planning to go public later this year. Their CEO, Georgi, is joined on as one of our advisors of a tech company. I've got Dylan Schub, who was on a previous numbers therapy. He's spent the better part of, I think, a decade and a half or 2 decades helping people establish international trust, bank accounts, et cetera. So he's kind of helping us from the governance standpoint, navigating kind of that environment and recommendations there. And then I also have a former top 10 U.S. hedge fund scalper and kind of one of my trading mentors, DM Scalping, who will be one of our advisors as well. Exploring a couple potential others that we, won't share until they're official, but very excited about, both our core team as well as all the supporting cast and advisors.
Hell yeah, you had me. Well, first of all, you had me already, but you had me when you said Swishy and Kfish, two awesome people. I could not have more faith in. So excellent to hear. Well, I don't want to end things quote unquote too early, but I also we don't have any questions from the audience. But I want to maybe just again last thoughts here before we part ways. Want to give you guys the floor to maybe leave us with some oh, hold on, we do have a question. I love it. You guys always make fools of me when I say, hey, there's no questions in the crowd, we get a question. So Iraga, you're up.
Hey, there we are. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm on my phone. I wanted to ask because I'm, obviously very involved in NFTs, but on the crypto trading side of things, I probably couldn't be more new. I've never really given much stock to the technical analysis and that kind of stuff, but I definitely want to learn more about it, and so I've been following Fib and all of this stuff with Enigma pretty closely. And I think that the copy trading is probably one of the more interesting things for me, running my own project and, trying to get in some NFT trading here and there. I just don't have time to trade and learn about crypto. So I wanted to ask, to what degree is it, set it and forget it? Kind of thing. I recognize that, obviously you can't guarantee certain profits or, anything for that matter. But I wanted to see if that's kind of something that would work for me, if I was to pick up 2 or 5 or, whatever the whale version of Enigma is, if that would be, something that I could have running on the side.
Yeah, 100%. I think you may be one of our kind of target clients. A lot of people, of course, either don't have the experience, confidence, or time to do the trading. One of my kind of rules of trading is don't do it unless I'm available to fully dial in, which as CEO right now, wearing all the hats, I've actually paused trading myself the last couple weeks just because I can't fully focus on it until we launch. But yeah, our goal is to, like I said, be able to cater to as wide of an audience as we can. And in your situation, we'll basically have guides in place to help you kind of get set up. Obviously, hopefully share some live kind of tradings within the Discord. And then, I think it's going to be, we plan to continue to roll out additional traders and utilities over time. So to that extent, obviously if you set it up day one and then we onboard additional traders, if you wanted to copy them, you'd have to kind of log back in and, follow this new trader, or maybe once we have more information over time, you see that, okay, these 2 traders are outperforming slightly over this one. Maybe I want to be a little more hands-on and kind of reallocate, across that. People are going to have total freedom to kind of do that to whatever extent they want. We will have kind of general guidelines of saying, this is one of our copy trading accounts. This is how much they're trading with, to whatever extent you want to follow that, on a 1-to-1 ratio, or maybe you're a little more risk averse and you want to kind of trade with half the risk as them. We'll have a lot of information around that. But the intent is that it's going to be an initial setup for the copy trading, and then of course the education side, we're going to have a lot of tools in place, and then we're also going to have kind of a cool boot camp utility as well, that likely every 90 days we'll have some raffles within the Discord to let people join kind of a pretty intensive trading boot camp for those that want to really learn more hands-on and have more direct training with us. So that'll be kind of a cool thing we'll be doing in this Discord as well.
Awesome.
And you will have to log in to withdraw your profits.
Oh,
I just have to say that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Unless you don't want them.
you guys will take them if I don't want them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to add a...
we'll donate them to charity.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and I'm going to add a no guarantees, of course.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
And just to speak to your point about the technical analysis, it's a bit ironic for me because I have always been historically, I've always been of the philosophy that 99% of people who attempt to trade based on technical analysis lose money. But since I have joined these NFT communities, my eyes have been opened a little bit, where that is probably still true, but there are the 1% of people who have figured it out mathematically. So that's kind of my intention with getting involved with this, is just to kind of allow access to these type of people to the average person who would most likely lose money if they attempted to trade on their own. So that's my perspective.
Yeah, that makes sense. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
So,
I'm real excited.
Raga's question brought up a great point. I myself, and I say this so loosely, consider myself a decent liquidity pool guy, right? I'm very familiar with it. I made myself very familiar with V3 and tried to learn that very quickly when it first came. Well, I wouldn't say when it first came about. I was a little late. I wish I would have been on it when it first came out. Are you guys going to do any kind of education, or would you guys consider yourselves well versed in V3 Uniswap and liquidity pooling? Can you maybe give us some insight on that? Because I know a lot of people right now, especially with the launch of Blur, back in Looks Rare, even there's a big spike now. Curious what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, so obviously all that stuff is subject to change over time, but I think kind of our initial positioning is fairly unique instead of being kind of a quote unquote broad alpha group where we try to share with people, here's these, collaborations we're doing, here's, these hot NFT projects coming, here's, maybe some signals as well. We really want to crush our niche first and foremost, which is going to be education and crypto trading and copy trading. And then obviously, like I said, we do have plans to hopefully build out the infrastructure onto a DEX in the future. So if down the road it makes sense to kind of integrate some of those cool additional crypto technologies in with our algorithms and traders and whatnot, we are definitely open to exploring those. And when we do, we would obviously extend that education and technology to our users as well.
Great answer. I love it. From this conversation, I got that, historically you're a great trader. Historically, you guys are very smart people, and you want to help people. You want to create this community, but you guys are full of yourselves. It doesn't seem like it's not. Again, I love the fact that you're like, hey, this has been my win rate, but we are not promising that moving forward. We just know that we've been really good thus far. So I really do love the level-headedness and the lack of cockiness that comes with a lot of communities that promise, this or promise that. You guys don't seem to be, weighed down with that. So that's an awesome thing just from my eyes looking in. So very, very breath of fresh air from the normal conversations that I hear. So, I don't have any other questions, guys. So we can go ahead and wrap things up. I want to thank you guys so much for collaborating with MVHQ, for also being just, great members of MVHQ. Hopefully, even with Enigma being out, that you guys continue to be a part of our community. But we look forward to partnering with you guys, and I can't wait to hopefully be on the Enigma list at some point. So really, really excited to see how this plays out for you guys.
Yeah, I did see Nifty made it on. I guess it's early morning for him. Do you want to bring him on and see if he has any words to share as well before we hop off?
Yeah, for sure. I have no time constraints whatsoever. I just don't want to run out of questions for you guys. So I'm inviting him on now. Let's see.
He might be getting ready for work, so we'll see. I saw he made it on, so I wanted to give him a chance if he had anything.
Hey guys, just got up on 3 hours sleep. I think I was chatting with OXFib like literally two or 3 hours ago, and then went to bed. So it's fun times. I feel like this is the NFT bull market at the moment. It's a bit crazy.
Cool. Yeah, I guess anything else from you, Nifty, in terms of kind of why you decided to join the team and what you're excited about before we end the call?
Yeah, of course. So I think, from the conversations that I've had with the team, the first thing that stood out to me was obviously that everyone's background, one being how diverse it all is, and then two, the experience within the financial markets, both traditional and within crypto. I personally went through probably a 2-3 year journey when I was learning how to trade. I actually trade traditional markets more than crypto right now, but it's a volatile journey. It's quite a difficult thing to go through. You burn through a lot of accounts doing it, and I've seen a lot of people get wrecked in all kinds of markets doing it as well. So I think this is a fantastic opportunity for people to dip their feet in the water, start to learn and build their education, and do it in a safe way, where they're getting expert knowledge and expert advice. And if they don't want to do it themselves, then they can just copy trade.
Nice. Well, I love it. I mean, again, going over the white paper, I don't know if you guys, is this white paper public, the one that I got sent?
No, we are going to have our website pushed in within the next week or two. So we'll just do the great reveal once that's out there.
Okay, I was gonna say, if you guys not see this white paper is great. But pause on the white paper. Make sure you guys follow them on Twitter. Do you guys want to plug your socials real fast?
Yeah, so if you follow our main account, it's obviously at the top of this Twitter, Enigma at Enigma NFT_ETH, and then all 6 of our kind of connected accounts, the 5 founders, as well as our collab account, are kind of the accounts that account is following. So feel free to follow us on there, and yeah, keep an eye out. We are hoping to get the Discord live soon, and are going to have a lot of kind of fun engagement opportunities for future Enigma lists on there. I did hint that I would give a little bit of alpha for those listening, so be ready to update your PFP borders and banners. I'll just leave it at that.
Excellent. I guess that bring this, not to elongate things, but I mean, if I have a question, I should ask it. What are going to be some of the ways to get on the Enigma list? I guess is it going to be being participatory on the Discord? Are there going to be communities that maybe get a few spots on the Enigma list? Like, can you maybe give us a rundown of that?
Yeah, so we've been kicking off collaborations for the last couple weeks. We've got an AMA with ApeList next week. Have pretty much we've been reaching out to communities and really haven't let anyone reach out to us at this point so far, wanting to make sure we not only tip our hat to the communities that we resonate with, but also want to, hopefully get as quality of a community from the get-go as possible. So we've been doing collaborations with a lot of the top tier communities, of course, with kind of both the Enigma list and the wait list, obviously MVHQ being one of them. And, hopefully, I saw a lot of familiar faces on the Enigma list that just came out yesterday. So excited to see you guys on board. But yeah, beyond that, we've been having some Twitter giveaways for various levels of engagement, riddles, and general kind of giveaways and stuff as well. And yeah, of course, the Discord, we're gonna have a lot of kind of fun scavenger hunt type things and games and raffles in there as well. So just keep an eye out on that.
Yeah, I had to find a way to get on the Enigma list. I'm pretty excited for what you guys are doing. So great. Well, team, thank you so much. Even from Singapore, thank you so much for joining us here towards the end. But yeah, I'll go ahead and leave it at that. Guys, make sure you get ready, stay following their socials so you can hear more information on things coming up. So again, thank you, Fibonacci and team, so much, and we look forward to working with you. Have a great night.
Thanks for having us. It was a pleasure.